Factors to consider in developing a plan. Number one, what the plan wants to accomplish, what the plan wants to achieve. A man who wants to open hospital in 2022 needs to focus on doctors, needs to focus on nurses. Is that not correct? A man who wants to go into fish farming, what does he need? He needs information in that area. So the plan is what determines what kind of information that is required. The plan is what determines the kind of information required. The plan is what determines the kind of information required. If we must move from Jerusalem to Judah, these are the price we must pay. These are the things we must do. So this plan you have, what do you want it to achieve? Somebody wants to open a fashion home. Any fashion home that will make impact, you need to know that we have moved from tailoring to world-class fashion. You want to know the truth? See, you can be busy and not effective. It's not that customer full shop. What are they buying? What's your turnover? I want to be effective, not busy. I want to be productive. I don't just want to be busy. I wish I'm talking to someone here. People have moved on. There's no problem living in Benin, but don't localize your destiny. Globalize your destiny, irrespective of your location. Don't localize your destiny. Globalize your destiny, irrespective of where you live. Find out what is happening globally. Don't just use your phone to be browsing who is the richest man in Nigeria, richest man in the world. Those are irrelevant information that are not needed for your destiny. What do I want this plan to achieve? Number one. Then number two, hey, any plan without timeline and deadline is not a plan. You must subject yourself to discipline. Timeline, deadline. Between January 1st and February, this is what I want to achieve. Between January to March, this is what I want to achieve. If there are no timeline and deadline, then it's not a plan. There must be timeline. There must be deadlines. You must bring and subject yourself to discipline, so that you won't just be irresponsible. I'm going back for my master's. When? I'm going for specialized courses. When? Timeline. I am going back to trade. When? This is what I want to do. When? Where's the timeline? So your plan first, what does it want to achieve? Number two, timeline, deadline. So if there are no timeline and deadline, it's not a plan. It's an assumption. Number three, the plan must be achievable. Oh, Papa said we should put plan. My plan next year is to be the governor of Edo State. There is no election next year. Now, my plan in 2022, I want to be the executive governor of Edo State. Abba, somebody is already there. Moreover, there is no election in 2022. So which INEC will conduct your election? So, plan must be achievable. Your plan must be such that it's realistic, achievable. In next year, I want to give birth to 5 children, and you are not married. Before you now get married, find a woman, marry her, do courtship, and now marry. Next year has finished. So you now say God is not faithful. He's too faithful to fail. You are the one that doesn't have a faithful plan. Number one, what is the purpose of the plan? Number two is what? Timeline, deadline. March, April, this division. April, June, this division. June to December, this division. Then the plan must be achievable. It must be something that is realistic. It must be something that is achievable. Then the last one, The God factor. Recognize God as the ultimate, the God factor. After you have set up all these plans, there are many devices in the heart of the man, but nevertheless, only the counsel of the Lord shall stand. Then you recognize God. Without you, I am nothing. God, this is my plan, but I depend on your strength to drive this plan. I depend on your ability. I know by myself I can't get this done, but I rely on your almightiness, your omnipotence power. I rely on your grace. Paul said, I am what I am by the grace of God. I plug my ability into your capacity. I plug my ability into your capacity. I put my strength in your strength. Lord, on this journey, I will forever depend on you. Forever depend on you. What are the factors to consider in setting up a plan? Number one, what the plan is to achieve. A man who wants to build a house in 2022 cannot be spending money carelessly from January. You need to start saving. See, don't wait for them to ask for school fees before you start keeping the money. Planning can reduce stress from you. You keep your house rent, you keep your school fees. Let me also advise you, if you are a tenant, you finally build a house, be paying the rent of the house to yourself. Wisdom. That money you were spending on rent, still continue to pay it to yourself in an account. Makes you disciplined. Haven't put all these plans on ground. The God factor. The God factor. This is where the fasting starts. This is where the prayers begin. This is where heaven is provoked. This is where you provoke heaven. This is where you talk to God. This is where you start telling God, by myself, I can do nothing. I trust you on this journey. This is my plan. This is my timeline. This is the deadline. But God, I depend on you. I trust you for achievement.